Hey, it's Jason. I'm here with my 2007 Land Rover Range Rover L322, and I have the foggy headlights. If you look closely, you can see the bottom not terrible, but up here it definitely has the haze. So I'm going to test out this $5 3M quick headlight clear coat. It comes with the materials you need. I've already cleaned the headlights with alcohol and water, a 50-50 solution. I have, as you can see, protected the painted areas in the plastic grill with 3M painter's tape I just happen to have. I have a bottle of water so I can then spray on the green and gray side of the grit sanding disc that it comes with, and then I'm going to evidently, rub that over the headlight. And it basically says you want to wet sand long enough before you move on, and then once you're done wet sanding, it looks like you're going to apply the 3M quick headlight clear coat. So evidently this this comes with everything you need. So mask the area, make sure you've cleaned the headlight with a 50-50 alcohol compound, have a bottle of water, take the first disc, soak it, wet sand it, wet sand it, wet sand it, dry it completely off, and then apply the clear coat. So I'm going to do this and let you see what the process looks like as I use this 3M quick headlight clear coat on my 2007 L322. And just to get nice and close, you can see what it looks like currently. So I'm going to mount the camera in a position where you can watch as I do this for the first time. Okay, so as I described, everything is taped off and I've cleaned the headlight with a 50-50 solution of alcohol and water. And the first step of the process is to use the sanding disc, but you have to wet the sanding disc, and then you're going to wet the headlight as well. So to wet it, I'm just going to use a spray bottle here, and this is the disc. You have the gray green side, and then that side it said to wet the headlight, and then it said to wet the disc, and then it said sand it. So that is what I'm doing. So I'm sanding it, I'm wet sanding it per the instructions. I'm going to go in an up and down motion and try to go the same direction, except like at the top where it just makes sense to go in the other direction. So this is 3000 grit sandpaper effectively, and I'm basically wet sanding it. So I saw kits where you hook it to a drill, and I said, man, I'm a little concerned about using a drill to do this. And the guy at Napa couldn't speak more highly of this product. So I can already tell. I'm going to wet this a little bit more. I'm going to wet the light a little bit more. I can already tell the difference. I'm shocked. I'm just going to keep going here. And the reason why you want to tape things off, presumably, is if you probably inadvertently hit your paint with the sandpaper, you want to keep it nice and protected. So I'm just going and going and going at this thing. So I spent about 60 seconds sanding, and now I'm just using water just to rinse it. And I'm going to keep going at it a little bit longer. And it seems like the green on the pad seems to definitely come off a bit. And I want to go nice and quick. I know I said I was only going in one direction, but I did not see any indication of scratches or issues. So you really want to get in here and do this. Okay, so I've spent quite a bit of time sanding, and I definitely notice a difference. It is definitely not perfect, so I'm going to dry it completely off, and it seems like, while it's better, it's definitely not that yellow hazy. But I'm going to go ahead and get this nice and dry, and then I'm going to do the next step. So the next step is this wipe, and it says to start with a clean headlight that's been sanded. This is clean and it's dry. I used that disc. Open but do not unfold the wipe. Open the wipe packet and apply the coating using a crisp edge of fold wipe. So you apply one coat up and down. So let's give this a go. It said on the instructions that it still might look a little hazy, so we'll see how that cleans up. I have the wipe open, and then it said just apply one layer in a nice uniformed wipe, which is what I'm doing here. You kind of got to go around these edges a little bit. So I don't know what this stuff is. It doesn't really have any odor. But if the headlights stay looking like that, that's a huge improvement. So I'm going to go ahead and go this way just a little bit to get me a nice equal wipes. All right, you kind of got to get in these cracks a little bit and the rounded edges and then go underneath. But I feel like I've gotten all the sections. And the next step says, let it dry 5 to 15 minutes. Once dry, open the second wipe packet and repeat it. So let me let that dry. Okay, this is the second application. Same process, basically just a uniform wipe on the headlight. It's been 15 minutes. It's about 68 degrees today, so it got nice and dry. And my initial observations so far, it's an improvement. But if your expectation is to have headlights that look like it just came off the factory in England on your L322, instead of lights that have been reconditioned, we'll call it, that are 14 years old, you're not going to get factory new lights. But you can see specifically here it's an improvement. On the sides, it's still a little bit more grimier looking. It almost seems like it's underneath that. But it's much better than the way that it was. So you're going to need a packet per headlight if you do the 2 applications like they suggest. You're going to want to wet sand it like I did. We could all argue all day long. Should I have applied more force? I don't know. I did what I thought was right, and I see improvement. Doesn't mean I can't buy the more expensive kit and do it. So that's ultimately what you're going to end with. And then you're just going to want this to dry. And it said make sure, you know, you don't have any rain in the forecast, or you're not going to be going to a car wash or something like that to get it wet, because you really want the clear coat, as they call it, that was put on to set really nicely on the headlight. So I'm just going to pull all this tape off, as I'm doing now, and I will get a towel and just wipe the bumper there. And that is effectively the process. It's not that difficult. It was pretty easy, all things considered. And that is how, let me step this camera back. That is how the new headlight, or the reconditioned headlight, looks. To get up nice and close, you can definitely see a difference. You can see right here, it gets a little bit more hazier, per se. So that's the project, using the 3M headlight restorer. That was $6 a packet on this 2007 Land Rover Range Rover L322. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this quick video was useful, and my opinion, $10 to do your headlights in 30 minutes of time. Why not? Be sure to check out my blog, jams.net, www.jamz.net.